Hey guys, welcome to another exciting Premiere Pro tutorial where today we'll be covering the effect Twixtor. So first of all, or before I start this tutorial, I'm just like to say that there's a channel update in the description, so make sure you read that. So firstly, you can download Twixtor from www.revisioneffects.com/products/Twixtor, and I'll put that link in the description. And if you go into downloads, you can see all the programs that the effect will work in. So just select yours, and then it will cost you. So it'll cost about $300, and I'm not going to go through how to sort of hack it or anything like that in this tutorial. So first open up Premiere Pro, and before you even start editing with Twixtor, you need to make sure you have the right clips for it. So the ideal clip is filmed with a tripod because it tends not to like sort of camera shake. And you want sort of a plain background, so something like this. See how it's just him on the plain white background? If you have sort of a noisy or generally cluttered background, then you'll get lots of sort of blur in the slow motion. Also, I'm only going to go through how to make your videos sort of slower. I won't go through speeding them up with Twixtor. And so basically what Twixtor does is a video is made up of lots of different frames. So if you try and slow it down, then it'll just go frame by frame. But what Twixtor does is it sort of blends the frames together so you can get a really smooth slow motion. So ideally you want your video to look something like this, but I'll be using this clip for the tutorial just to show that it can work with a background that isn't plain. So the first thing you need to do is you need to make a new sequence. So you can press the button here and press sequence, or you can go to File, New Sequence, and then just put in your settings, drag your clip into the sequence. In your new sequence, just copy the clip and then just paste a few copies of it there next to it, and then go back into your original sequence and then delete the clip, and then drag in your second sequence there, and then you'll see you have a long, just your video repeating. So, and then go through the bit that you want to add the effect to. I'll finish it about there. And then go into your effects, and in video effects it'll be under rear vision plugins. And then, in this tutorial I'll just be going through Twixtor. I won't be going through Twixtor Pro or Twixtor Pro vectors in. So drag the effect onto your clip, and then so when you come up to your effects panel here, you'll see the effect Twixtor here. So just swivel down that, and then in source control you can basically just leave that, and then the main thing you want to focus on is the output control. So I should probably trim this clip down a bit. If you're getting some lag in your video, then you can change the playback and pause resolution in this button here. Twixtor does give you a lot of, it slows down your editing a lot because there is a lot going in the clip and it takes your computer a while to render it. So go to the beginning of your clip, and then where it says speed, you want to press the stopwatch to make it a keyframe. And then here it is at 100, that's 100%. So then go forward to where you want your clip to go slow, and then just before it, and then make another keyframe. So everything between those two keyframes is 100% speed. And then you can go forward a few frames and then change the speed. Usually I put it about 2% to about 5%, so I'll put it at 3% here. And then if you look at these two keyframes where it goes from 100% to 3%, you'll see that if you go between it's sort of gradually slowing it down. So if you make a bigger space between the keyframes, then it'll sort of flow into the slow motion more than just sort of rapidly just going into it. So what you can do is you can make the view a bit bigger, and then make the pause resolution a bit better, and then just go through your clip, and if you can see, and you'll see where it goes slow, so about there. And if you can see any sort of morphing or blur or anything like that around sort of your subject, then there are a few things that you can do to make it a bit better, make it with a bit less morphing. Smart blend, you can tick that. I don't think it makes much of a difference, but it could. In frame interpolation, you can change that to motion weighted blend, and then you can come into track control and then increase the motion sensitivity. Usually I just put it at about 80 if there's a bit of morphing, and that's really all you can do to fix it up. Of course there are more if you want to go more into it with like masking and things like that, but basically that's all you can do. So you'll see that the clip is playing through slowly because it's in slow motion, and then because we made that second sequence with lots of copies of the clip, you can drag it out so it can stay slow for longer. If we didn't do that, then the clip would have cut out here. And then so put about where you want it to finish the slow motion, and then go into the output control, add another keyframe, and then go forward and then change it back to 100%, and then that should load up, and then there you go. So if you probably won't be able to play this back in your editing without it lagging a lot, so what you can do is you can go up to sequence and then render effects into work area, or you can just press enter and then that will render it so it'll play back smoothly in your editing program. If you'll notice that the audio, Twixtor does nothing to the audio, so if you're only slowing down to about 50% or 30%, then you can press this button here to lock the video layer, and then you can sort of cut up the audio and then change the speed of it to give it that slow motion sound. But if you're going as slow as like 5% or 2%, then you're just going to have to delete the audio, and yeah, that's really all you can do about it. So that's it for this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, then leave a comment on this video, and yeah, thanks.